Yeah, so I did use Dolly 3 to create these. So the spelling is a little bit kindergartner on some of it, but it's getting better, which is good. And if you ever seen those choose your own adventure novels, if you ever had those back in the day, that's the theme behind this. And from the SOC analyst to CISO, and just a little bit about me. This is a real illustration of me at work. No, just kidding. But I am the CISO for Clemson University. I've been working in cybersecurity since 2007. I've been in IT since pre Y2K, so I'm old, like 1999, 98. But I've had many different paths in security and in IT. I went through the analyst role, the engineer role, architect, some compliance, and we'll talk about more. But been through a lot of different roles and up to a CISO, and wanted to share some questions with you. Why would if you wanted to be a CISO, why do you want to be a CISO? As a CISO, well, before I was a CISO, I really didn't want to be a CISO because I thought a CISO is mostly going to meetings. They're dealing with politics. They're dealing with a lot of problems. There's a lot of stress. But I really didn't know what a CISO did. And you may hear people talk about, yeah, that's a goal for them. But the question I would have is why? Why is that your goal? And do you know what the job of a CISO entails and the day-to-day activities? And we'll talk more about what that looks like. But a good example could be is go look at a job description for a CISO and look at the breakdown of the day-to-day activities, what they're asking of you, what your responsibilities are, and it might give you some idea, not a complete picture, but some idea of what they're asking that CISO to be able to do. And I do believe, and although I did watch John Strand's keynote this morning, a SOC analyst position, I think it is a good start. When I started in security, there wasn't really an entry level either in security. You pretty much went up through a couple different paths. It could be networking, it could be system administration, it could be development. And then maybe if you know the right people and network with the right people, it's about who you know. Then you might be able to get a chance to get a position in security. And that's what happened to me. I was a system administrator / do everything IT person, a little bit of development, a little bit of networking. And I knew somebody at the university that had just started up the security program, and they knew I was interested in security and went that way and interviewed, and it worked out great for my first real security position. But at the university, we have a student run SOC, and students that are going to either in computer science majors or other majors, they work with us and they get that hands-on experience. And that's a key part of it, is trying to get some, right? You can't get experience until you have experience. But I do believe if you can get your foot in the door in a SOC analyst position, even though it may be tough and it may suck, it can still be fun. And that was my experience too. And I would say, what is your goals whenever you're in these positions and you're looking at your path to be a CISO or move up in any way? What are the things you want to make sure you're covering? You want to make sure you're not just focusing on technical, that you are focusing on those soft skills. So even at a SOC analyst position, that could be write-ups for incidents. It could be doing a presentation for an incident. It could be, you do get the chance potentially to work as a customer service and use those people skills to communicate with the front line. You're talking to individual users that have had an incident, and working on those skills is very important all the way up, all the way through your path, in my opinion. At some point, you're probably going to run into a branch, a fork in the road to GRC or technical, compliance. And what I would recommend is, if you do have aspirations to be a CISO, is in all the way through your path, look for ways to combine both. If you decide to go full GRC, try to combine as much as you can technical and the security incident response and the architecture. And that could be as simple as sitting in during an incident, right? Maybe you're not the one doing the investigation, but you're sitting in so you can understand what the SOC is dealing with, so that you're informing both sides. I think what I see a lot of people do is they kind of pick the branch, they pick the path, and that's mainly what they focus on. For me, I was technical. That's the path I took. But I wish now, looking back, I had done more compliance along the way. Now I do that a lot. I do both still, but I do a lot more compliance, of course, than I used to. But I wish I had done more along my path, and that's what I would recommend too. Just finding ways. If you're the technical person, try to get involved with, what are the compliance requirements, understanding them. Don't just be, well, that's the GRC folks, I don't have to worry about it, because really at a CISO level, you need to understand both. So a first leadership position, it could be a SOC manager, it could be maybe you're a leader for a GRC team. And as a SOC manager, this was my first leadership position ever, really. I had some interns previous to this, but we had a SOC. We officially built a SOC. And for me, all I had was 5 or 6 students that worked for me. But I took it seriously. I wanted to make sure that, I was being a good leader, being a good manager, and was really excited. And it actually was one of the best positions I had as a SOC manager, working with students. And I think some of the things that I thought about in my first leadership role is, one of the things I learned is that leadership is a skill. And you actually can shore up weaknesses in leadership, and you can focus on that even at the entry level. What are the things? Some of those things I've already talked about, the soft skills, working on the leadership of, some of the things that pop up are, well, are you born a leader or can you become a leader? In my opinion, you can become a leader. One book that I came across is called Extreme Ownership, that really changed my perspective on what does it take? What does it mean to be a leader? And one of the first things that it talks about is being humble. And you think a lot of people, and this comes back to why you want to be a CISO, the people that normally want to be CISO or want to be the top person in the organization for security, there's usually a reason why they want to be that, right? They get a little bit of an ego. They're not necessarily the most humble. And that was my experience too, with throughout my career with leadership. They weren't always the most humble, and they were normally looking out for themselves. And one of the things that I really learned a lot from that first experience was, just being the leader that you would want to have, and also um, taking care of your people, right? John talked about how the stress and how people get burned out, and there's so much asked of you in an entry level position. Well, if you as a leader, your goal and your objective, one of the primary ones, is to take care of your people and help them through those things, but also help them knock down barriers. If there's things they need training, if there's things that they're trying to they need additional tools, you're the one that's fighting the fight for them. And then you're giving them the credit when they're doing a good job. When things suck, you're taking the blame. You're taking ownership. And that to me was a big paradigm shift of what leadership was, or what I had seen at least. And that's what I've tried to continue to do throughout my career. But I think in that role, it is a good first leadership opportunity as a SOC manager. So I have this phrase ABN, always be networking, and I think we've heard it over and over again throughout this conference. And it is true in my experience, and I think most people's experiences. And I would highly recommend conferences like this, other conferences, especially in-person conferences, that you potentially volunteer. Get out there and volunteer your time and look for opportunities to meet people. I've met so many people just by volunteering and working in those conferences and getting to know others. If you see the guy in the black hoodie, I didn't tell Dolly through Chat GPT to create this ominous figure, but that's the vendors. You just stay away from those guys. They're trouble. So as you progress, I think a good stepping stone is a deputy CISO role. That's something that I had in my experience as a director of operations and engineering, and then a deputy CISO role, because you're there to, you're the next person in line. When the CISO finally gets a vacation and they get to go take a break, your job is to make sure that you don't have to call the CISO, right? That you can handle things. You're the point person. You're potentially probably already over an area, either GRC and or security and operations and engineering and operations. And you just want your goal is to make the CISO look good, right? You want to make them look good, and that should be kind of your goal throughout. But you also want to be seen as somebody that can get stuff done throughout as well, right? You want to be seen as somebody that's reliable, that they look at you and they know that they give you a task, you're going to get it done. And I think it's great because when the CISO does get to go on vacation, you don't want incidents to happen, but